Hey, Real Green Ninja here. The video you're about to watch is a supplement to the existing tutorials and help videos already available on the Real Green website. I do take a more casual approach because I'm presenting this information as I would if you called in, although I may have a little fun with it. This video is based upon the information I, as a Real Green technician, would provide using my experience on the help desk. This video was created on my own time to assist with areas of the software that may be waiting for an official help video or tutorial. At the beginning of the training video, I will have the version of the Service Assistant the video was made with. I will also try to be as accurate as possible, but be aware, as Service Assistant updates are released, things may change. I'm using the name Real Green Ninja as not to stand out from the other amazing technicians that I work with. I hope the information in this video helps you, so grab a cup of coffee, and I hope you learn something new. Hey, Real Green Ninja here. People have been asking about how do we set up mowing, so guess what we're going to do today? We're going to talk about that. So let's begin. When you're setting up a lawn mowing, you're setting up what's called a repeating special. That's something where you're going out and doing the same thing over and over and over again. Now, it's not a program, because programs are actually like a group of related services. For example, like a fertilization program. You might not do fertilization each time. The first round, you might go out and do a pre-emergent. Second round would be fertilization. Third round might be a weed control. So again, if it's the same thing over and over again, it's called a repeating special, and again, mowing is one of those repeating specials. So to create a new repeating special, we're going to click on New here. I'm going to put in the service code. I'm just going to call it mow. Oops. M-O-W. Now, if you do like bi-weekly mowing and monthly mowing because you guys are year-round or something, then you actually might want to create one of each. So you'd have like a weekly mowing, it might be WM, bi-weekly mowing might be BM, although kind of watch out on that. Monthly mowing might be MM. But again, you're going to create each mowing job as a repeating special. We're going to give the letter S for special because, well, it's a repeating special. We're also going to mark it's a special here, as well as you may actually have your own price chart for the mowing. Excuse me. Sorry about that. And I'm just going to go ahead and use an existing price chart lawn care because, well, I know that one's already set up. Normally, when you do a repeating special, like a lawn mowing, you're not actually going to leave something on the job site each time you go out and visit. So you'd want to probably have the default billing type set to statement only. And the reason why is because when you do bill the customer, you're going to probably use what's called a monthly invoice. And again, we'll talk about that a little bit later on when we talk about billing out the mowings. So, of course, with mowing, you're not going to use a product. If it is taxable, make sure to put your tax code in there. And again, because we're doing it as a monthly invoice, you may or may not want to put invoice messages in there. But again, the important thing is as a special as well as statement only. And again, we'll talk about the billing later. If it is something that you're going to continue from year to year, you're probably going to have it set for automatic renewal. Now, you're probably going to want to build out your monthly mowing. So we don't want to have this check marked here simply because if we have to skip a mowing or mowing gets done and not put into production, it won't let you pull the next one. And you're also going to put in your max per year. So let's say max per year might be 24. That might be 6 weeks, during the summer or something. And again, you guys know what better off, better than I do, how many mowings you're probably going to be doing. Again, special job, and again, you can do 1,000 square feet. Now, another important thing is when you set up the repeating criteria, this is what it's going to look at when it builds out the next schedule date. You're going to want to put like 3 or 4, and I'll explain why, and I'll show you a demonstration when we go and do the, when we actually add it to a job to the customer and stuff on and so forth. Also, you can put an end on date. So let's say you absolutely positively know that you are not going to go out there and mow after October 1st. Again, you know your area better than I do. So if you want to put in a date in there, what's going to happen is whether or not you do 24 mows, it's only going to schedule out to that date. Because when it schedules, it's either going to schedule out to the end on date, it's going to schedule out till December 31st of the season you add the service to, or it's going to schedule out until it hits that max of 24. So again, that's why you want to put how many, the most amount you think you'd be doing for this customer. All right, so once we've got all the information here, we're going to hit save. Let's go ahead and find a customer to add this to. Now, let's go ahead and use this Great Escape. I've been using that quite a bit here. And when I go to add the job, I'm just going to hit the little add icon there, add special job, and I'm going to add my mowing. There we go. And save. So, again, if for some reason you have it checkmarked, and I'm doing this on Sunday, that's why I say I'm trying to schedule for today, and it says it's not available, or it's not supposed to be allowed. Even if you click OK, it's still going to let me schedule it for that day, but let's go ahead and put it in for Monday's date. And there we go. Might help if I actually got my number lock off there. Let's try this again. Oh, no. Is it because I wasn't in edit mode? Man, I've been working here for a year and a half, and I still get caught up by the edit mode button. All right, so again, I'm going to put that in there. Now, Once I put that date in there, I'm going to hit update schedule, and it's going to build out all these mowing jobs for the rest of the year, again, until it hits December 31st, until it hits the 24th, or until it hits the October 1st. So again, like I said, you want to put out the maximum per year. Now, if it's a case where you're doing yearly mowing, where you might have bi-weekly mowing and weekly mowing and so on and so forth, you're actually going to add all 3 jobs to the same customer screen, and then depending on what time of year it is, that's when you'd pull your weekly or bi-weekly or so on. All right. Again, I'm going to put all this information in here. Once I got on in there, I'm going to hit save. I'm going to hit my required fields like you normally would. I don't have them all required simply because, well, I like to skip through things. Then again, because this guy has, stuff services like in 2017 from playing around, it gave me a message. So now, when I go to pull my work, I'm going to go through and go to my invoice screen here. And, I'm going to get rid of that. That was actually a bad attempt or bad thing there. I didn't like the outcome of that one, so that's why I decided to start over. And again, that one was already in there. That's why I want to create a new one. But again, I'm going to pull my mowing. Now, if it's cooler in the year, like being March or whatever, and you're doing bi-weekly mowing, then you wouldn't pull your regular mowing, you'd pull your bi-weekly. And then if you're, in the wintertime and you're, again, year-round mowing, you'd pull your monthly, again, as required. Okay, so once you've selected, of course, again, you're going to grab, set all your criteria and so on and so forth. Now, you're going to put your schedule date in, because, again, we're going to be pulling it for this week. And so I'm going to pull the mowings for this week, and I'm going to hit preview, and it might help if I actually hit the get invoices. There we go, and you'll see there's that mowing. Again, my list is only really short because only one person has it, but again, you'd have all your mowing jobs and so on and so forth. Again, if you have the mapping assistant, you use a mapping assistant. If you have your own routes and stuff set up and you set up your data sequence numbers, again, however you route, you're going to route. But more than likely, you're either going to print a driver's report or a worksheet. So let's take a look at what both of those look like. A driver's report is going to list information about the customer. It's going to have the mowing service, size, and so how much is expected to be done. A little checkbox tick and check off. And again, the barcode you're going to scan when you go to production. There's a couple notes I have on the customer or on the service itself. Again, that would be the technician note and stuff. But again, I was saying this is going to be a driver's report, but you might not want to let your crew know how much money this job is actually worth to your company. So you can print out what's called a worksheet. Okay? When you print out the worksheet, again, it has all pretty much the same information, except it doesn't have that pricing information. All right? So let's go ahead and print that out. Now, some companies, they also like to print out a schedule, and they can leave a schedule with the office, and then that way, if, the office person ever calls up and says, hey, where are you guys? They can say, oh, we're at stop such and such, and, they can look it up and see where they are, and so on and so forth. Unless, of course, you have mobile live, then you have, like, live truck tracking and stuff like that. So, again, I'm going to do a fake print. I've showed this in other videos. I do a fake print, so I'm not wasting any paper, because, well, I'm just me doing this on my own time. Ink gets expensive. It's going to ask me where I want to save it. I'm just going to call it junk. All right, and then save. And then I want to make sure that we are not assigning an invoice number. So I'm only going to have marked services printed indicated. All right, so once we do that, the job's off the screen. If it get invoices, it's off the screen. Why? Because if we go back to the customer, push F5 to refresh, you'll now see that mowing job is in that $ status. Now again, if we take a look at the job itself, there's the printed date, but we haven't posted production on it. All right. So let's say your crew goes out to the job, does the work, and I got to find out what the number of that is. Now, it doesn't. Okay, I said it doesn't get assigned an invoice number. Well, technically, it gets assigned a temporary invoice number. So I got to find out what that temporary number is. So I'm gonna take a look at my printout here, and there it is. Oh my gosh, maybe I got to reset my database or something, so I don't have such long numbers there. So I'm gonna put it down here towards the bottom. Go to my production screen. Again, you're gonna, your crew came back in. If you get the barcode scanner, just zap the barcode. If you don't, you have to type those numbers in. 305413. That's here. 305413 and W. Oh, again, might help if I have my number lock turned on. Let's try. I'm gonna put this off screen so I can actually see it, even though you guys can't. Okay, so 305413. All right. Once I put that in there, gotta get my W, press enter, you'll see there's a service. Now again, it's one of those cases where you're going to have a list of jobs to enter. I only have the one for right now. But again, with production, you're going to put all the information in, make sure it's correct, put your start and stop times if you want to. Now, if you do have mobile live, a really cool feature you can do is hit this load mobile data, and when you hit that, let me save here. Gotta do my done date. Give me 1 second here, 15, save. There you go. If you hit the load mobile data, it's going to ask you which person's tablet you want to pull that information from. So, please understand I'm not part of sales, but, I like to show people those type of things because it can make your life easier. But again, as with anything with production, you're going to make sure all your information is correct, and once it's correct, you're going to hit post, and then you can print, preview, export. I'm just going to cancel out of it and hit yes, and now the work has been completed. So if I go back to that customer, you'll see now the job is in that S status. Okay, now, the way that this repeating scheduling works here is it takes a look at what this done date is, adds this number of days, and then finds the next available checkbox. So if I would have posted a production on the 16th or the 17th or whatever, again, what it's going to do, let's say I did the work on Wednesday, it's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Can't schedule it for Sunday, so it's going to schedule it for the next Monday. Again, you'll see this date didn't change, but if I were to put in 7 days here, okay, and also you indicate what day you expect to mow that person's lawn, you hit save. There we go. Now, again, I'm going to cheat, because I'm going to go right to the production screen. I'm going to go in. You know what? I just realized I want to make sure that, by the way, this is something I do have my thing set up for. Normally, you guys probably wouldn't have it set up. I'm actually going to set mine up so I can do days early. Okay, good. I'm just going to really go nuts here and do 1,000 days early. Okay, so again, as I was saying, if you come in here and you post production, let's say you actually did this on the 24th, all right? So we can go in here, we'll pull up the job, pull up the 24th here, tell the system who did the work, hit save, hit save and post, and cancel, and yes, close that, close that. Now, if we go back to this job here, again, you'll saw it was the 16th, 23rd, 30th, and 6th. But if I refresh the screen here, you'll now see that the 30th is missing. Okay, the reason why the 30th was missing, because again, what it did is it added 7 days to this number here, and then found the next available checkbox. So we did it on the 24th, and the 24th happens to be a Tuesday. So again, it went the 24th, 25th, 26th, 27th, 28th, 29th, 30th, 31st. So again, this would have been the 7 days, and then it went and found the next available checkbox. So again, that's why you're going to want to have it to like a 3 or 4, because it gives you a little bit of leeway. Now, if you know you're going over to that property, rain or shine, it does not matter what the weather's like. If you're going over there and you're guaranteed going to be there every 7 days, then yeah, you could do that. All right. Another thing you could do is you could also lock the schedule. Once you've built it out, now if we hit update schedule again here, we'll actually go into edit mode, update schedule. We're not going to reschedule that. Actually, I do want to reschedule that first one. Thinking about it. There we go. There we go. There's our 30th back. Okay. So again, you can lock the schedule, and what happens is that these dates will not change. All right. Now again, when you're pulling your work, you're going to pull by schedule date, and you're probably going to pull for that week. And of course, as with other criteria, and if you have sequence numbers, day codes, and all that stuff like that, you can put all that information in there. But again, that's why you have this for 3 or 4. Now, if you're doing like a bi-weekly mowing, you might have like 10 or 11. Again, you're giving yourself a little bit of leeway in case you don't get there on the Monday or the Tuesday or the Wednesday or Thursday or Friday, or whatever day you're supposed to show up. If you're doing a monthly mowing, you might have it set to something like 25 days. Because again, keep in mind, it's going to add that number of days to the done date of the last service performed, and then it's going to add the number of days and find the next available checkbox. Now, again, the reason why it's important to keep in mind, the reason why it's important to have it to statement only, even though you're doing what's called a monthly invoice, is because in order for a job to show up on a monthly invoice, it has to be set to statement only, and it cannot have an invoice number yet. So if you take a look here, again, you'll see no invoice number. Even though we've printed this something out here, we didn't tell it to assign one. Okay. Now, if we go to print invoices and monthly invoice, and we put our criteria in, what month we want to pull. Let's say pull for the month of March. There we go. Get invoices. There's that invoice there, and we do a preview. Oops, I just realized it's February to March. Again, you'll see that there's 3 jobs in there. Now, again, I kind of have a failed earlier one I was trying to talk about repeating special, but I decided really to focus on mowing on this one. So let's go ahead and change that to 031. Boom, boom, boom. 031. There we go. Still probably going to pull it up. Yeah. So, okay. So, again, the services that the customer had that did not have an invoice number and was set to statement only showed on that monthly invoice. If we were to generate a statement for this customer, okay, let's see here, and we were to use the exact same date range, boom, boom, boom. So the 1st to the 30th first. There we go. So again, exact same date range, and get statements by account, hit none. Where is my, there we are, and we do a preview. Oh, I gotta turn that open invoices off. Give me 1 second here, and we do a preview here. There we go. You're going to see not only do we have the repeating special and everything, but we have all the other transactions that have been done. Also, some companies will not pay on a statement. It is supposed to be an invoice. So again, in order for it to show on the monthly invoice, it has to be set to statement only, and it cannot have an invoice number. Once you've printed out that invoice, and again, let me just show you the statement again, exact same date range and everything, so on and so forth. Again, all those transactions. You see, I've been using this person quite a lot for my videos. Now, again, if we go to the service here, boom, 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 we take a look at that, go to a little magnifying glass, no invoice number. Now, once we've printed out that invoice, and again, I'm going to do it as junk print. Boom, boom, we'll call it junk there, save, yes. Oh, you know what? I got it open. Ha! Let me close it real quick here. There we go. Print, XPS document writer, print, junk, save, yes. All right, now that we've printed it out, okay, if we hit get invoices again, you'll see that that invoice doesn't show up. And the reason why those no longer show up is because there is no one in my database that has statement only, and the services don't have invoice numbers. When we go and refresh the screen here, either by closing it, reopening it, or pushing F5, you'll now see it's given a state or an invoice number, and that invoice number is the monthly invoice. So all those services that were on the same invoice, including that repeating special from that failed video I did, is going to show up on that invoice. All right. So again, like I was saying, is in order for it to show on a monthly invoice, which is what most people do when they do lawn mowing, it has to be set to statement only, and it cannot have an invoice number. Other than that, that's pretty much setting up a mowing job. Okay, again, like I said, the weekly mowing, bi-weekly mowing, monthly mowings are pretty much going to be the same thing. The only difference is how often you're scheduling them. Also, when you're going to start the particular job or in a particular job. Because like I said, if it's wintertime, you're probably pulling your monthly mowing. Early spring, you might be doing bi-weekly mowing. But when it starts to get really going into full gear, late spring, early summer type of thing, is when you'll start pulling your weekly mowing. If you do have customers that might be on weekly mowing the same time someone else is on bi-weekly mowing, what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to build out the schedules for each of those customers, so that way when you pull that work, you're not accidentally grabbing someone's weekly and monthly mowing. Again, if you have any questions about that, you can always give Real Green a call. They'll be able to help you figure that out. So I hope this was helpful, and you guys have yourself a wonderful day.